Welcome to Insidious Inc. Hitchhiking is always a gamble. Most of the time, it's just a stranger looking for a ride. But every now and then, it's something else. Something that shouldn't be on the road at all. Some roads have rules. Roads where you don't stop. Roads where you don't pick anyone up. Roads where, if you see someone standing alone in the dark, you look straight ahead and keep driving. Because once you let them in, you might not be the one deciding when they leave. The highway stretched out in front of me, dark and endless. A single winding road cutting through miles of nothing. The only light came from my headlights, carving a narrow path through the blackness. The rest of the world felt like it didn't exist. I was alone. Or at least, I thought I was. Then I saw him. A figure stood just off the shoulder of the road, barely visible in the dim glow of my headlights. At first, he was nothing more than a smudge in the darkness, a shadow where there shouldn't have been one. As I'd got closer, the details sharpened. He was tall and motionless, his face hidden beneath the hood of a faded grey sweatshirt. His clothes hung loose, tattered at the edges, like they had been worn for far too long. His arm was outstretched, thumb up, the universal sign of someone looking for a ride. A hitchhiker. My heartbeat picked up. Something about him felt wrong. Maybe it was the way he stood. Too still, too stiff, like a mannequin propped up on one side of the road. Or maybe it was the fact that this stretch of highway was completely deserted. No gas stations, no houses, no other cars. Just an empty road cutting through miles of darkness. No reason for anyone to be out here, at this hour. I should have just kept driving. I should have ignored him. But my foot hesitated on the gas pedal. A second, just a second. And the moment my car began to slow, he moved. Not toward the car, not like a normal person. 1 second he was standing in the dark, the next, he was at my window. I hadn't seen him take a step, or was it my eye? He was just there. A sharp, breathless gasp caught in my throat, my hands locked around the steering wheel. I didn't dare move. His hood was still pulled low, casting his face in shadow, but I could feel him looking at me. Staring. My fingers trembled. Every muscle in my body screamed at me to hit the gas, to get the hell away. But I didn't. Instead, my hand moved toward the lock, and before I even realized what I was doing, I let him in. I nearly screamed but forced myself to stay calm. My fingers tightened around the steering wheel, my pulse hammering in my ears. Then, tap, a single knock on the window, slow and deliberate. He didn't lean down to look inside, didn't wave. His face stayed hidden beneath the hood, his posture unnervingly stiff. I should have hit the gas. I should have left him standing there in the dark, but instead, my hand moved on its own. My fingers hovered over the lock, trembling as I pressed the button. Click. The door unlocked. He climbed in without a word. No greeting, no small talk, no sign of gratitude. Just shut the door with a dull thud and stared straight ahead. The car felt different with him inside. The air turned heavy, pressing down on my chest. It was colder now, like something unseen had slipped in with him. I swallowed hard, forcing out a question. "Where are you headed?" But all I received was silence. He sat perfectly still, hands resting in his lap. His hoodie sleeves were too long, swallowing his fingers. Something about him was wrong, deeply, deeply wrong. I should have turned around, should have told him to get out. Then he finally spoke. "Just drive." His voice was hollow and empty, like an echo of something long forgotten. I forced myself to focus on the road. My breath came in short, uneven gasps. My knuckles turned white against the steering wheel, my grip so tight that it hurt. Get him out, now. Every instinct in my body screamed at me, clawing at the edges of my mind. But fear locked my muscles in place. I risked a glance at him. Just a quick look, and my stomach dropped. His hood had slipped back slightly, just enough for me to see his face, or rather, the absence of one. His skin was smooth. It was too smooth. No eyes, no nose, no mouth. Just an empty, featureless void where a face should have been. The headlights from oncoming cars flickered across his skin, revealing a strange, unnatural texture, almost like wax. A choked noise slipped from my throat, somewhere between a gasp and a sob. My vision blurred at the edges, tunneling in on the thing sitting beside me. This wasn't human. My hands jerked the wheel, the car swerved wildly into the other lane. I wrenched it back just in time. My heart pounded against my ribs, my pulse hammering in my ears like a war drum. I slammed on the brakes. The tires shrieked against the pavement, the car lurching to a violent stop. My head snapped forward, seatbelt cutting into my chest. The moment the car stopped, I threw it into park. My fingers fumbled for the door handle. My breath was coming too fast, too shallow. My chest heaved as I turned to him, and he was smiling. I felt it, more than I saw it. That wide, impossible grin stretching across the blank space where a mouth should have been. An expression that shouldn't exist on something that didn't even have a face. The air in the car felt heavy, thick like molasses. My skin burned with cold, as if all the warmth had been sucked out of the space around me. And then he spoke again, in a voice that wasn't a voice at all. A sound that slithered through the air like static, warping and twisting, as if 100 voices were speaking at once. "You should never have stopped." The lights blinked. The radio made a high, distorted noise. A deep, gut-wrenching pressure built in my skull, like something was pushing against the inside of my head. My vision blurred, my stomach twisted. I threw the car into park and flung the door open. Desperate for fresh air, cold night wind slammed into me as I stumbled onto the pavement, my legs shaking beneath me. My breath came in short, ragged gasps. I turned back toward the car, and he was gone. The passenger seat was empty. The door was still locked. The air inside the car felt thick, suffocating, like something unseen was still sitting there, watching. I stood there, frozen, my breath fogging in the cold air. My chest heaved, heart hammering against my ribs. My mind scrambled for an explanation, any explanation. Maybe I imagined it. Maybe exhaustion was messing with my head. Maybe he was never there at all. A lot of maybes were coming to my head, but then I noticed something. The passenger seat was wet. Not just damp, but soaked. Dark stains spread across the fabric. Water pooled in the creases, dripping onto the floor. A slow, steady trickle, like something had been seeping from him. I swallowed hard. My throat was dry. The water was ice cold, colder than the night air, colder than it should have been. And then, just as I took a step back, my body locked up. Every hair on my arms stood on end. I wasn't alone. Not yet. Since that day, I never drove that highway again. But some nights I dream about it. About the endless stretch of road, swallowed in darkness. About the feeling of isolation. The weight of something unseen pressing in from the shadows. And the worst about him, the hitchhiker standing on the shoulder, waiting. Motionless. Silent. His hood drawn low over a face that wasn't a face at all. And sometimes when I wake up, the room is quiet. The house is still. but just as sleep begins to pull me under again, I swear I can hear it. A soft, distant, and insistent knocking. Some roads are better left untravelled. Some rides should never be given. And some hitchhikers were never meant to be picked up, because once you stop for them, once you let them in, they never really leave. If this story sends a chill down your spine, make sure you like, share, and hit the subscribe button for more terrifying encounters. And if you've ever had a strange experience on the road, tell us in the comments. Because sometimes the real danger isn't who's beside you in the car, it's who's waiting for you up ahead.